Good morning. Let us take a moment to think about how the brain works. Don't roll your eyes. I know it seems scientific, but the reason why it is something that you have to understand, you must understand it because you're in a body and you have a brain. And because you have a brain and because you have a body, there is a specific process that you must understand. I know that Neville says, assume the state you want to be in. And I know some people say, well, Neville didn't believe in affirmations. But what do you think an internal conversation is? It is a statement that you continually affirm to yourself day in and day out. Because that is the way the mind works. That's the way the brain works over and over. You want to learn a song? Play it continually on repeat and you will learn it. Why? Repetition. Why do you think children learn the way they do? Boys, because they are more movement-based, will learn via movement better than sitting still. Girls, on the other hand, well, we tend to sit still a little longer, so we'll take in information more as we sit still. Just because of what we are, boy, girl, right? Because, as Joseph Murphy tells you, each thing has its own way of doing something. Electricity flows downward and it needs an exit point. You can't change that. Right? Water flows downhill, always seeks the depth. You're never going to go uphill. Everything has its own nature in the way it takes on information. Well, how does that relate to manifestation? It relates to manifestation because law number 1 of creation tells us that all is mind. There's an image in your mind. Let me give you an example that you can apply. What if you wanted a promotion at work? I know this was my weak spot. Oh yes, this was my weak spot. I could outwork anybody, not just physically, but just by ideas and implementing things and getting it done faster and smarter without expending so much energy. Oh, I am very good at that. But you see, the problem is, yes, I wanted to be promoted. And it wasn't that I was not a phenomenal employee. That wasn't it. The image that I had in my mind of promotion. Well, how did I know what image I had in my mind of promotion? Here it is. You want a promotion. But yet, when you see your boss, I can do your job better than you. You see your coworker, this bitch, she don't even work. You see another coworker, why do you still have a job? Now the brain works by association. So, you want a promotion, yet the image that you have of promotion does not match your behavior or your thoughts. Look at this for a minute. If you're looking at your workmates and you are constantly saying to yourself, I can work you under the table. I can outdo you. Because of the way the brain works by association, the image, right? The image, because law number 2 of correspondence tells you what's inside has to be on the outside. So if you want a promotion, you have to look at that person who is in the position you want to be in, and you go, wow, good for you. You know what? You totally deserve that position. Do you know why? Do you know why you do it that way? Because your eyes see the other person. Your ears hear the other person. You smell the other person. You are interacting with the other person. But the subconscious mind does not see another person. The subconscious mind only registers how you feel about promotions. Let me say it to you again. There is no one else. Your subconscious mind does not see how your interaction is with the other person. They see how you respond to the situation. So if you are looking at a state of promotion and you scoff at it because you don't like the person in the position, you'll never get the promotion, because the image you are holding of the promotion is, I don't like promotion. Understand that, grasp that. If you are looking at the job that you want, but you don't like the person who is in that job currently, again, your subconscious mind is blind. It does not discern right or wrong, love or hate. It simply registers, well, how does Angela feel about promotions? And if you tell it, well, I don't like that person, it doesn't care about the other person. It cares about how you feel about promotions. So if you look at the person in that position and you say to yourself, holy shit, it must be fun to work in that position. Good for you. You earned it. Good for you. You know why that will get you the promotion? Because you're talking to yourself. You're not talking to the other person. Here's example number 2. You want to be in a relationship. And some of us want to be in relationships so bad. We eat, sleep, breathe. Just that desire. But here's something. What if you're walking down the street and you see a couple? Maybe you don't think she's all that pretty, or maybe you don't think he's all that good looking, but they seem happy. And you're like, ugh. Every time you go somewhere, you see all these happy couples. Why am I not in a happy couple? Again, your subconscious mind is not seeing the couple. Your subconscious mind is looking at your reaction to couples and relationships. So if you are in a position and you look at a couple and you go, ugh, when is it going to be my turn? How come this person? How come? You are telling your subconscious mind you don't like relationships. Remember, the brain works by association. It does not work based on the fact of what you can see. You just have eyes because you need to walk around and get around. You have ears because you need to hear and listen and understand. But the subconscious mind does not discern information. It holds images based on how you feel. This is why any kind of strong emotion will leave an impression on you. And when an impression is formed, every single time you encounter the thing that is similar to that impression, you're going to respond in the same way. If you were stung by a bee, every time you hear the buzz of a bee, your body automatically goes into survival mode and you are freaking out looking for that bee because you must escape. So the image of bees and panic go together because that impression that was left on you from the pain of the bee sting, and heaven forbid if you got anaphylaxis to bees. Do you see now? So I'm hoping you understand in this situation what I'm saying to you. Well, Angela, how do I apply that in my everyday life? You apply this in your everyday life by listening to what Neville and Joseph Murphy and every other person is telling you. Know what it is that you want. I want a car. I want a relationship. I want a new job. Whatever your desire is, you must make sure that you are telling your subconscious mind, I like the thing that I am desiring. If you want a new car, you can't get up in the morning and kick your tire of your car and go, God, this car sucks. You can't do that. You can't tell your car that it sucks and expect that it's going to match what's in your subconscious mind already. Because remember, it works by association. So if you want something, then you better like what it is that you want, because it has nothing to do with the person who has what you want. The person who has what you want is invisible to the subconscious mind. So to get around that, insert yourself into the position that you want. Instead of seeing them, see you. Is that not what Neville tells you? To do it in first person? That's what you do. Insert yourself into the desire. Because why? You cannot have anything contradictory in you. The subconscious mind does not work that way. If you offer a contradictory desire, which means I want a new car, but you say to your car every time you get in it, God, I hate this car. You're contradicting your desire. You see? And the way the body and mind work is that it will do everything to make sure that you are always harmonious, which means the law of correspondence. As within, so without, as above, so below. Harmony is your natural nature. So if you are looking at the desire that you want, you better be liking it. If you're looking at a relationship, you better like relationships and not judge them. If you're looking for promotion, do not dislike or despise the person who's in the current position that you want to be in. You are simply going to remember all your interactions, the people are invisible. So if the people are invisible, if you want the relationship and you see a couple walking down the street, don't see the couple, see you walking down the street. Because what does Neville say? What would it be like? Imagine, what would that feel like? Put yourself into the position that you want to be in. Put yourself into that office, right? That's what he's saying to you. And so I know that Neville says you imagine it, you give it all the tones of reality. That is how you give it the tones of reality. By understanding that the brain works by association and the subconscious mind is blind. It does not see other people. It only sees you and how you respond. And it will never take contradiction because it is against its nature. The nature of the mind is to be harmonious and to be balanced and to match. So, with all of that being said, practice by asking yourself a very important question. This desire that I want, when I see it, how does it make me feel? And if you know how it makes you feel, then it'll never be denied you. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. Harmony. It must match. And the reason why it has to match, why if you have a desire and you scoff at the desire because you're seeing somebody having something that you want and you're envious and you're coveting it, the reason why you always get what it is you believe is because that emotional imprint that's on you already. You are telling yourself, I want this. And the emotion that is stronger is the one it will always go with because it has to. We hear that saying, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Why? Because as above, so below, as within, so without. When Esther Hicks tells you that harmony and health are your natural states of being, they are your natural states of being, because what is inside has to match what's on the outside. I've said enough now. I trust that you understand me. And you can apply it to any situation by simply doing these 3 things. I think there are 3. Know what it is you want. And when you know what you want, do you actually like it? Because when you're seeing what you want, are you envious? Or are you saying, wow, that's amazing, I love it? That's all you got to do. Because you're always getting who you are. And this is why we give up sometimes, because we feel like we're chasing our tail out of sheer frustration. How come I can't get this? That's why it's not that you can't have it. You are getting it already. Because the image that you hold, see it, feel it, understand it. Know what you want. And when you see what you want, how does it make you feel? And how do you change? It's easy to change. You change by remembering and understanding that the subconscious mind is blind. It only sees you. It only feels you. It does not understand why you are triggered. It just knows that you are, and it responds by giving you what triggers you, because the images have to match. Now, if you still have questions after that, let me know, and I will explain it to you another way. But that's what I had to say this morning, and I love you, and I want you to get your desires.